Hello and welcome. I wonder, do you feel you have a good grasp of the animal kingdom? Perhaps you've watched many documentaries, read countless books, and feel you've seen the breadth of what our planet's wildlife has to offer. But the natural world is a place of infinite variety and boundless surprise. Just when we think we understand its rules, it presents us with an exception. A creature so wonderfully strange it seems to defy all logic. The truth is, we have only scratched the surface of its mysteries. Today, I would like to take you on a journey to explore some of these exceptions. We will be looking at 25 of the most astonishing and bizarre facts from across the animal world. Details you may have never encountered before. These are not just trivia. They are testaments to the sheer magnificent power of evolution. It is a process that acts as a masterful artist, a tireless inventor, and a brilliant engineer, sculpting life into forms that are as beautiful as they are bewildering. So please join me. Let us take a walk together through the lesser-known corridors of animal life. We will venture from the deepest oceans to the highest canopies, from arid deserts to frozen tundras, to witness behaviors and abilities that will challenge our perceptions and deepen our respect for the incredible creatures with whom we share this planet. The world is far more wondrous than we can possibly imagine, and its secrets are waiting to be discovered. Our journey begins in the cool, quiet waters of Mexico, home to a creature that seems to have discovered the fountain of youth. This is the axolotl, a species of salamander with a most peculiar secret. Unlike its relatives, which undergo metamorphosis to live on land, the axolotl chooses to remain a child forever. It retains its juvenile features, the feathery external gills, the finned tail, for its entire life, a phenomenon known as neoteny. It lives out its days in a state of perpetual adolescence, a Peter Pan of the aquatic world, never feeling the need to grow up. But its refusal to mature is only the beginning of its extraordinary abilities. The axolotl is a master of regeneration, a power that borders on the miraculous. If it loses a limb, it simply grows a new one, perfect in every detail. This is not limited to just its legs or tail. Incredibly, it can regenerate damaged portions of its spinal cord, and even its brain, rebuilding complex neural pathways without any scarring. It can even mend a broken heart, quite literally. This remarkable capacity for renewal offers a profound glimpse into the very blueprint of life itself. We now turn our gaze to the skies and to a family of birds often cloaked in myth and superstition, the corvids. Crows and ravens are not merely dark omens, they are possessors of an intelligence that rivals that of the great apes. Their minds are astonishingly complex, capable of abstract thought, planning for the future, and solving intricate multi-step puzzles that would challenge a young human child. They have been observed crafting and using tools with remarkable dexterity, bending wires to create hooks or using sticks to probe for insects. This intelligence extends to their social world in ways that are truly uncanny. Crows and ravens can remember human faces for years, associating individuals with positive or negative experiences. They pass this knowledge on to their offspring and their peers, effectively creating a wanted list of people to avoid or scold. This ability to recognize and communicate specific information about other species reveals a level of cognitive sophistication that forces us to reconsider the very nature of consciousness and where it might be found in the animal kingdom. High in the canopy of the Central and South American rainforests, life moves at a different pace. Here we find the sloth, an animal whose very name has become synonymous with lethargy. But its slowness is not a weakness. It is a profound and highly successful survival strategy. Moving at a glacial pace, the sloth becomes almost invisible to predators like jaguars and harpy eagles, which hunt by detecting movement. Its stillness is its shield, a form of camouflage so effective that algae grows on its fur, further blending it into the green tapestry of the forest. This creature's adaptations for a low-energy lifestyle are truly remarkable, but perhaps the most surprising is its relationship with water. Though it spends most of its life in the trees, a sloth is a surprisingly adept swimmer. And when submerged, it can perform a feat that seems to defy its biology. It can hold its breath for up to 40 minutes. It achieves this by dramatically slowing its heart rate to less than a third of its normal pace, conserving every precious molecule of oxygen. In the world of the sloth, patience is not just a virtue, it is the key to life itself. We descend now beneath the waves into a realm of fluid intelligence and shifting color. Here dwells the octopus, a creature that seems almost alien in its design. With 3 hearts, blue blood, and a brain that extends through its 8 arms, it is a marvel of evolution. But its most captivating feature is its skin. Lined with thousands of specialized cells called chromatophores, an octopus can change its color, pattern, and even texture in an instant. This is not just for camouflage, though it is a master of disguise. It is a language. Through these spectacular displays, an octopus communicates its mood. A sudden flush of deep red can signal anger or alarm, while a pale, smooth white might indicate fear. Gentle, pulsing patterns can be seen when it is calm or curious. Scientists are beginning to understand that these are not just involuntary reactions, they are expressions. Furthermore, each octopus has a distinct personality. Some are shy and reclusive, others bold and inquisitive. They are individuals, sentient beings who experience the world in a way we are only just beginning to comprehend, painting their emotions directly onto their skin for all the ocean to see. In the rugged mountains of New Zealand, a flash of olive green and a mischievous call signal the arrival of the kea. This is no ordinary parrot. The kea is renowned for its intelligence, but it is its insatiable curiosity and playful, often destructive nature that sets it apart. These birds are the jesters of the alpine world, possessing a cognitive ability for exploration and problem-solving that is driven by a seemingly endless sense of fun. They are notorious for their interactions with human property, often working in teams to dismantle whatever catches their fancy. They will systematically strip the rubber seals from car windows, steal unattended backpacks, and investigate anything new in their environment with their powerful beaks. While this behavior can be a nuisance, it is a sign of a highly sophisticated mind. They are not acting out of malice, but out of a deep-seated need to understand their world by taking it apart. This playful vandalism is, in essence, a form of scientific inquiry, a constant experiment to see how things work. The kea reminds us that intelligence in the animal kingdom doesn't always look serious. Sometimes it looks like pure, unadulterated mischief. On the vast savannas of Africa and in the dense forests of Asia roam the largest land animals on Earth, elephants. Their immense size is matched only by the depth of their emotional and social lives. These are creatures of profound intelligence and startling empathy. Elephants are one of the very few species, alongside great apes and dolphins, to recognize themselves in a mirror, a classic test of self-awareness. They understand that the reflection is me, a fundamental component of higher consciousness. This self-awareness is the foundation for their complex social bonds and their capacity for deep emotion. Elephants are known to mourn their dead. A herd will fall silent and stand vigil over a fallen companion, gently touching the bones with their trunks, sometimes for days. They have been observed returning to the grave sites of loved ones years later, a clear indication of long-term memory and a lasting sense of loss. They show empathy not only for their own kind, but for other species as well, demonstrating a level of emotional intelligence that challenges the artificial boundaries we often draw between ourselves and the rest of the animal kingdom. Let us now shrink our perspective down to the microscopic level to meet a creature that is arguably the toughest on our planet and perhaps beyond. This is the tardigrade, affectionately known as the water bear. These minuscule invertebrates are found everywhere, from the highest mountains to the deepest seas, but their true talent lies in their near indestructibility. When faced with life-threatening conditions, the tardigrade enters a state of suspended animation called cryptobiosis. In this state, it retracts its legs, curls into a tiny, desiccated ball called a ton, and reduces its metabolism to less than 0.01% of its normal rate. As a ton, it can survive almost anything we can imagine. It can withstand temperatures from just above absolute zero to well over 150 degrees Celsius. It can endure pressures 6 times greater than those in the deepest ocean trenches. It can survive lethal doses of radiation and even the vacuum of outer space. The tardigrade is a testament to life's tenacity, a microscopic marvel that pushes the known limits of survival to their absolute extreme. We return to the ocean, to the world of the dolphin, a being of sleek grace and profound social complexity. Their intelligence is well documented, but it is the way they structure their societies and communicate within them that is truly breathtaking. Dolphin pods are not just random groupings. They are intricate, fluid networks of alliances, friendships, and rivalries that can last for decades. Their social lives are as rich and complicated as any found in the primate world, built on cooperation, learning, and cultural transmission. Central to this social fabric is their sophisticated communication. Every dolphin develops a unique signature whistle shortly after birth, which functions much like a name. They call out their own whistle to announce their presence and can mimic the whistles of others to call to them specifically. This is more than just simple calls. It is a proto-language, a system where individuals are identified and addressed. They engage in complex, coordinated hunts and even teach new techniques to one another, passing knowledge down through generations. They are a culture of the sea. Along the rocky coastlines of the North Pacific, a charming scene often unfolds. Sea otters floating on their backs can be seen holding hands, or more accurately, paws. They form these rafts, sometimes hundreds strong, and hold on to one another while they sleep, to prevent themselves from drifting apart in the current. This endearing behavior is a beautiful example of social cooperation, a simple yet effective solution to a shared problem, strengthening the bonds within their community. But their cleverness doesn't end there. Sea otters are one of the few non-primate mammals known to use tools. When an otter finds a hard-shelled mollusk like an abalone or a clam, it will also retrieve a specific favored rock from the seabed. Floating on its back, it uses its chest as an anvil and the rock as a hammer, repeatedly striking the shell until it cracks open. They often keep their favorite rock tucked into a loose pouch of skin under their foreleg, carrying their personal toolkit with them. This combination of social bonding and intelligent tool use makes the sea otter a truly remarkable coastal engineer. In the gentle, shallow waters of our world's oceans, we find a fish that, well, turns our understanding of parenting completely on its head. This is the seahorse. In a remarkable reversal of roles that is almost unique in the animal kingdom, it is actually the male who becomes pregnant. The courtship is a delicate dance, with the pair swimming together for days. When they are ready, the female deposits her eggs into a specialized brood pouch on the male's abdomen. The male then fertilizes the eggs inside the pouch and seals it shut. For the next several weeks, he carefully nurtures the developing young, regulating the salinity and oxygen within the pouch to create the perfect environment for his offspring. When the time comes, he undergoes muscular contractions, much like a human mother in labor, and expels the tiny, fully formed baby seahorses into the water. This extraordinary commitment by the father is a beautiful and surprising example of nature's flexibility when it comes to the fundamental task of raising the next generation. On the sandy seabeds of Southeast Asia lives an animal that has, honestly, elevated mimicry to an art form. This is the mimic octopus, a creature that doesn't just change its color to blend in, it changes its shape, its texture, and even its movement to impersonate other, more dangerous marine animals. This is not a generalized imitation. It is a highly specific and intelligent form of defense. It actively chooses its disguise based on the predator that is threatening it. If threatened by a damselfish, for instance, the octopus might tuck its arms away and flatten its body to imitate a banded sea snake, a known predator of damselfish. It can contort its body to look like a venomous lionfish, spreading its arms out like deadly spines, or flatten itself against the seafloor to mimic a flounder. It has been observed impersonating more than a dozen different animals. The mimic octopus is a master of deception, a quick-change artist whose survival depends on its incredible ability to become whatever its enemy fears most. We often see them in our cities, dismissed as common and, unremarkable. But the humble pigeon, or rock dove, possesses cognitive abilities that are anything but ordinary. These birds are part of a very exclusive club of animals that can pass the mirror test, demonstrating self-recognition. When a mark is placed on a pigeon's body, where it can only be seen in a mirror, the bird will try to peck at the mark on its own body, not at the reflection, showing it understands that it is looking at itself. Even more astonishing is their capacity for visual discrimination. In carefully controlled experiments, pigeons have been trained to distinguish between the paintings of different artists. They can reliably tell the difference between a Monet and a Picasso, for example. Even when shown paintings they have never seen before, they can generalize the styles and correctly categorize them. This suggests they are not just memorizing images, but are identifying and understanding the abstract stylistic patterns that define an artist's work. These urban survivors are, it seems, surprisingly sophisticated critics of art. Deep in the tropical forests of the Americas, vast and intricate societies are at work. These are the cities of the leafcutter ants, and their inhabitants are not hunter-gatherers, they're actually farmers. For 50 million years, long before humans ever tilled the soil, these ants have been practicing a sophisticated form of agriculture. Armies of workers march out from the nest, scaling trees to slice off sections of leaves with their powerful mandibles. But interestingly, they don't eat these leaves. Instead, they carry the crescent-shaped fragments back to their enormous underground nests. Down in specialized chambers, smaller workers chew the leaves into a pulp, which they use as a substrate to cultivate a particular species of fungus. This fungus is, well, the ants' sole source of food. They carefully manage their gardens, weeding out competing fungi and fertilizing their crop with their own secretions. It's a symbiotic relationship perfected over millennia, a stunning example of an entire civilization built upon the principles of sustainable agriculture. In all the world's oceans, from the icy poles to the warm equator, swims the apex predator, the orca, or killer whale. Despite their formidable reputation, their societies are not ruled by aggression and brute force, but by wisdom and experience. Orcapods are matriarchal, led by the oldest female. But a fascinating discovery has revealed the profound importance of grandmothers. Female orcas are one of only a handful of species, including humans, that go through menopause. They live for decades after they stop reproducing, and they dedicate these years to leading their families. Postmenopausal grandmothers act as the repositories of the pod's collective knowledge. They know the best hunting grounds and remember how to survive through periods of scarcity, like a salmon shortage. Pods with a living grandmother have significantly higher survival rates. These wise elders ensure the prosperity of their lineage, proving that in the complex society of the orca, the most valuable role is that of the teacher, the leader, the grandmother. In the damp, dense forests of Australia, an astonishing concert is taking place. The performer is the superb lyrebird, a creature whose vocal talents are almost beyond belief. The male lyrebird is a master of mimicry, capable of reproducing virtually any sound he hears with stunning accuracy. His own song is beautiful, but it's his repertoire of imitations that is truly spectacular. He weaves the calls of dozens of other bird species into his performance to create a complex, continuous symphony. But his abilities are not limited to the sounds of nature. He meticulously records the sounds of the world around him, including the artificial noises of human intrusion. A lyrebird song might include the whirring and clicking of a camera shutter, the roar of a chainsaw, the beep of a reversing truck, or a car alarm. He performs these sounds from a carefully constructed mound on the forest floor, fanning his magnificent tail feathers in a dazzling display. He is, honestly, the ultimate sound artist, sampling the entire auditory landscape to create his unique and breathtaking courtship recital. Lurking in the vibrant coral reefs is a creature that hunts not with speed or strength, but with light and illusion. The cuttlefish, a close relative of the octopus, is another master of skin-based communication, but it uses its ability in a uniquely predatory way. When hunting, a cuttlefish can send waves of shifting, pulsating color patterns rippling across its body. These are not random flashes, they are a calculated hypnotic display. This dazzling, strobing light show appears to mesmerize its prey, such as small crabs and fish. The victim becomes transfixed, frozen in place by the rhythmic, kaleidoscopic patterns. While its prey is caught in this trance, the cuttlefish slowly edges closer. Then, with breathtaking speed, it shoots out two long feeding tentacles from hidden pouches, snatching the mesmerized creature. It is a stunning combination of beauty and lethality, using a hypnotic light display to disable its prey's defenses before the final swift attack. For a creature with a brain the size of a sesame seed, the honeybee possesses mathematical abilities that are truly astounding. Their world is one of geometry and numbers. When a forager bee finds a rich source of nectar, it returns to the hive and performs a complex waggle dance to inform its sisters of the location. The angle of the dance communicates the direction of the food relative to the sun, and the duration of the waggle part indicates the distance. It is a remarkable act of symbolic communication, but their mathematical prowess goes deeper. Recent studies have shown that bees can understand the concept of zero, an abstract idea that takes human children years to grasp. They can also perform basic addition and subtraction. And of course, there is the honeycomb itself, a perfect array of hexagonal cells. This shape is no accident. It is the most efficient way to tile a surface, using the minimum amount of wax to store the maximum amount of honey. Without formal training, these tiny insects have mastered complex geometry to build their homes and organize their society. In the brackish mangrove swamps of Southeast Asia and Australia, a hunter has developed a technique that seems to defy physics. This is the archerfish. It preys on insects and spiders resting on leaves and branches above the water's surface. To catch them, it has become a living water pistol. The archerfish takes aim from below the surface and, by compressing its gill covers, forces a powerful, precise jet of water from its mouth. This feat is made all the more incredible by the fact that the fish must account for the refraction of light as it passes from water to air. It has to calculate the true position of its target, not the apparent position it sees from below. Younger fish learn by observing their elders, gradually improving their aim. An experienced archer fish can accurately strike a target up to 3 meters away, knocking the unsuspecting insect into the water where it can be quickly devoured. It is a masterclass in ballistics and optics performed by a fish. On the tropical seabeds lives a creature of dazzling color and honestly, just devastating power, the mantis shrimp. This small crustacean is not a shrimp at all, but a stomatopod, and it's actually one of the most formidable predators in the ocean. It possesses 2 raptorial appendages, which it can deploy with incredible speed and force. The smasher varieties have these club-like claws that accelerate even faster than a .22 caliber bullet, striking with such force that it creates an underwater shockwave. And get this, a flash of light through a process called sonoluminescence. The punch is powerful enough to shatter crab shells, dismember prey, and even crack aquarium glass. But its power is matched by the complexity of its senses. While humans have 3 types of color-receptive cones in our eyes, the mantis shrimp has between 12 and 16. They can see a spectrum of light far beyond our comprehension, including polarized light. Their view of the world is a psychedelic tapestry of information that's just invisible to us. The mantis shrimp is a creature of extremes, a rainbow warrior with the most complex eyes and one of the most powerful punches in nature. Let us venture now into the dark underground tunnels of East Africa, to a society that, honestly, challenges our most fundamental understanding of what it means to be a mammal. Here lives the naked mole rat. These bizarre, wrinkly, buck-toothed rodents live in large, eusocial colonies much like insects, with a single breeding female, the queen, and dozens of sterile workers who dig tunnels and find food. But their social structure is just the beginning of their strangeness. Naked mole rats appear to defy the very process of aging. Their mortality rate does not increase as they get older, and amazingly, they can live for over 30 years, which is an astonishing lifespan for a small rodent. They are also highly resistant to cancer and are virtually insensitive to many types of pain, including the pain from acid. They thrive in a low-oxygen, high-carbon dioxide environment that would be lethal to other mammals. They are a biological enigma, a creature whose unique physiology may hold secrets to longevity and health. In the world's oceans drifts a creature that has achieved a form of biological immortality. This is Turritopsis dohrnii, the immortal jellyfish. Like other jellyfish, it begins life as a tiny free-swimming larva, which settles on the seabed and develops into a polyp colony. This colony then buds off genetically identical free-swimming medusae, the jellyfish form we are familiar with. For most jellyfish, this is the final stage of life. They mature, reproduce, and then die. But the immortal jellyfish has a remarkable trick. When faced with environmental stress, physical damage, or old age, it can halt and actually reverse its life cycle. The medusa sinks to the seafloor, its cells transforming and reaggregating, and it reverts back into a polyp colony. From this new colony, it can bud off new medusae, effectively being born again as a younger version of itself. Barring predation or disease, it can repeat this process endlessly. a tiny, gelatinous time traveler that holds the secret to cheating death. In the forests of Australia and New Guinea, courtship is not about the brightest feathers or the loudest song. For the bowerbird, it is about art. The male bowerbird is an architect and a curator. He doesn't build a nest for raising young, but rather an elaborate structure called a bower, purely for the purpose of attracting a mate. Some species build avenue-like structures of twigs, while others construct complex huts known as maypoles. The construction is only the first step. The male then meticulously decorates his bower, demonstrating a clear aesthetic sense. He collects objects of a specific color, blue for the satin bowerbird, and arranges them with artistic precision. Shells, berries, flowers, and even pieces of human litter like bottle caps and straws are carefully placed to create the most visually appealing display. The female inspects the bowers of multiple males, judging them on their architectural skill and artistic arrangement before choosing a partner. It is a courtship based not on strength but on beauty and creativity. On a few remote islands in Indonesia lives the world's largest lizard, a formidable predator from another age, the Komodo dragon. These powerful reptiles are known for their size and venomous bite, but the females harbor an even more extraordinary secret. They are capable of a process known as parthenogenesis, a term derived from Greek for virgin birth. A female Komodo dragon can reproduce without any genetic contribution from a male. In the absence of a mate, a female can lay a clutch of viable eggs that will develop and hatch. Interestingly, because of the way their sex chromosomes are determined, all of the offspring produced through parthenogenesis are male. This remarkable ability provides a crucial survival mechanism. A single female washed up on a new island could theoretically establish an entire new population by first producing sons and then mating with them once they mature. It is a powerful, if lonely, strategy for ensuring the continuation of her lineage against all odds. As dusk falls, a different world awakens, one that is navigated not by sight, but by sound. Bats are masters of the night, and their key to this dark kingdom is echolocation. To navigate and hunt in complete darkness, a bat emits a stream of high-frequency sound pulses from its mouth or nose, far too high for humans to hear. These sound waves travel out, bounce off objects in the environment, a cave wall, a tree branch, a fluttering moth, and return as echoes. The bat's large, intricate ears capture these returning echoes, and its brain processes them into a detailed, three-dimensional sound map of its surroundings. It can determine an object's size, shape, texture, distance, and even its speed and direction of travel, all from the subtle variations in the echoes. It is a biological sonar system of incredible sophistication, allowing the bat to perceive its world with a richness and detail that is completely alien to our own sight-based experience. They truly see with sound. Our journey ends in the freshwater rivers of eastern Australia with one of the most peculiar mammals on Earth, the platypus. With its duckbill, beaver tail, and webbed feet, it looks like an animal assembled by a committee. But its strangest feature is one you cannot see. The platypus hunts underwater with its eyes, ears, and nostrils all firmly shut. Instead, it relies on a remarkable sixth sense electroreception. Its soft, leathery bill is covered with tens of thousands of receptors that can detect the tiny electrical fields generated by the muscle contractions of its prey. As it sweeps its head from side to side underwater, it is not searching by sight or touch, but is scanning for the faint bioelectric signatures of small invertebrates hiding in the mud. It is one of the only mammals to use this sense, which is more common in sharks and rays. The platypus, a living mosaic of evolutionary traits, reminds us that nature's solutions are often far more inventive than we could ever predict. And so, our journey through the astonishing and the unexpected comes to a close. We have met fathers who give birth, birds who critique art, and mammals that seem to defy aging itself. From the microscopic to the majestic, we have seen that the book of nature is filled with countless chapters, each more surprising than the last. Now I ask you, of these 25 remarkable facts, how many did you already know? Was there a particular creature or ability that truly captured your imagination and left you in awe? The world is teeming with these wonders, and we have only glanced at a few. Every single species is a masterpiece of evolution, a unique solution to the challenges of survival, with its own incredible story to tell. I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these facts surprised you the most? Was it the immortal jellyfish, the sharpshooting archerfish, or the artistic bowerbird? Your curiosity is the first step on a lifelong journey of discovery. If you found this exploration as fascinating as I did, please consider showing your support. A simple like, a share with a fellow nature lover, or subscribing to Wondrous Nature helps us to continue bringing these incredible stories to light. There is always more to learn, always another mystery to uncover. Thank you for joining me, and may you always keep your sense of wonder for the magnificent